Hey yo, what's up guys? I'm dropping another what if. You see the thumbnail. You already know what this about. Y'all liked it, so I'm coming at y'all with another what if. What if Esdeath was Naruto's mother? Alright, I'm gonna start it now. The Imperial Capital. Yeah. It was far bigger than what Naruto thought it would be. He saw the capital below him. Yes, below him, as him and Esdeath were riding on the dragon-type danger beast that Naruto froze earlier for a shorter trip back to the capital. Do you like it, Naruto? Esdeath asked as she saw an amazed look while he was staring at the huge city. Yes, I hope the people are a lot nicer to me though, Naruto said, excitedly though his face dropped at the last part of his answer. All this, Esdeath hugged him close for comfort. Hold up. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for a quick little cut. Don't worry about it. After all, you will be my student. Anyone who looks at you wrong will be punished if you like, Esdeath said to Naruto, who grinned at the thought. All those people who treated him badly will be getting punished, and it's all thanks to his new mother figure, though he wouldn't tell her that yet. Thanks, I guess. I'm all for it then, Naruto said with a grin on his face, making Esdeath smile sadistically at how easy it seemed to mold Naruto into a person like herself. It was amusing to say the least. A few minutes after they landed near the center of the city, which Esdeath told him was a palace where the king of the place resided. So Naruto got off the dragon along with Esdeath when they landed, and he followed her through a few hallways of the castle. Where are we going? Naruto asked as Esdeath moved through the confusing hallways with ease. We're heading out of the town first to get you out of those rags and get you into some proper get you a proper weapon for your age. Then we'll go and meet the king afterwards, Esdeath said as she took the quickest route out of the castle and into the market district of the capital to get some clothes and a weapon for Naruto. Do you have to pay for them? Naruto asked. He didn't really have that much on him. Just enough money for food, and that was it. Don't worry about it, Naruto. I'll pay for it. I know you don't have much on you right now. Besides, I can't have my student looking like a commoner, so these will set you apart from the rest, and since you look like me already, it won't be too hard, Esdeath said, bringing Naruto on for a one-arm hug. She was getting used to Naruto by her side since he was what she was always looked for in a student she would have. Um, Thanks a lot, Esdeath, Naruto said as he moved closer to her, making her smile to his actions. It took them a few minutes to find the nearest exit near the Kingdom District, near the Market District, my bad. And along the way, various people they encountered along the way were shocked soldiers, uh, just all kinds of people. Here was Esdeath, the strongest woman in the capital, one of the most sadistic people, if not the most. Here she was walking with a boy who looked exactly like her in male form. He had her blue eyes with her pale skin, and it seemed her sinister gleam in her eyes as well. Could this very mean what could this very mean for the capital? They had no idea. For the spies, they immediately went to their ways, trying to get the news out as fast as possible. This could turn this could be a turning point for the rebellion. So finally, they reached a destination. It took them a matter of minutes to find Naruto some suitable clothing, in which was almost an exact copy of what Esdeath was wearing, but with slight alterations. He was wearing a blackish button-up shirt along with a pair of cargo pants with some winter boots. Yeah. After getting him some new clothing, it's time for him to get a new weapon. As Esther said, really didn't match his stature to use such a small knife. So after much searching, they eventually came across a small rapier type of weapon that was easy in his hand and was similar to Esdeath's, making Naruto happy, especially since Esdeath could train him some more now. As they were getting Naruto stuff, word finally got around that Esdeath was walking around with a child that looked like her and brought Naruto clothes. Word was spread out more. Rumors even started that Naruto was Esdeath's child. I wonder why. As rumors continued to spread, more and more spies from the rebellion army came to check out the site, only to confirm the word spread that indeed Esdeath was traveling with a child that looked exactly like her. Unknown to the spies, Esdeath could actually sense them, and she was actually smirking all the while searching them, sending them killer intent that unnerved them a lot. Esdeath, why are there people following us? Naruto asked Esdeath as he walked alongside her as they walked towards the castle once again. You can sense them? Esdeath said. Naruto mildly shocked. It wouldn't shock her too much if he had her skills a bit refined. Yeah, I could feel they arrived to follow us, Naruto said as he explained to Esdeath. Grinning at that, Esdeath felt her battle impulses rise up within her. Well, why don't we lead them to a trap after all what I have seen? Well, I have seen how you will do in a fight with just your sword, Esdeath said as she smiled. Manalic, uh, just smiled like a very insane person, making people move out her way. Least, least they will be the subject of her amusement. Okay, it's been a while since I stabbed something anyway, Naruto replied with an equally crazy grin that made people avoid them all the more. Hearing this, Esdeath nodded at his enthusiasm and proceeded to move towards one of the more secluded districts of the capital where no doubt they would try to attack her and Naruto unless they were smart enough to lead them by them. Fortunately for Esdeath and Naruto, the group apparently didn't bother to notice the state of bloodlust the two were in so uncomfortably. So the group of spies they had just followed the two to their own deaths. Hold up there. Hold it right there, a spy shouted as he jumped in front of Esdeath and Naruto, who simply stared blankly at the man, though if one were to look closely at their eyes, could see the bloodlust radiating from them. Come on, what are all you waiting for? Target the kid, bring him back to the base, dead or alive, the other spies said as the group of spies surrounded Esdeath and Naruto, cutting them off from escaping. Except that it was not that Esdeath and Naruto who were caged in, but them as a dome of ice had enclosed the entire area. What the? It's a trap! Those Those were some of the yells given by the groups of spies who had so foolishly tried to ambush the duo, only to have the tables turned on them. Spending no time, Esdeath and Naruto jumped into the frame with Esdeath effortlessly slaughtering half of the spies with her rapier. Not even a single one of them managed to land a hit on her. Naruto, on the other hand, was taking his time as he seemed to toy with his group of opponents, parrying an attack, stabbing, never going on the offense. It was until he got bored of it, though, and in a burst of speed and strength, reappeared behind his enemies, and cuts and slashes littered their bodies, leaving them in pain. Of course, he left one of them alive, who had, by this point, dropped his sword and fell on his back, trying to get back away from the overpowered pair. Seeing this, Naruto walked towards the man, fully intent on ending his life, only to be halted by Esdeath herself. "Stop, Naruto. We have to leave this one alive. After all, I am a woman of mercy," Esdeath said, making sure that the survivor heard her as well. "Do we have to?" Naruto whined, making Esdeath want to grant his wish, but she stood firm. "Yes, after all, I am sure you enjoyed this little massacre with his survival. It ensured we'll get to it more later on," Esdeath explained to Naruto, who seemed to accept her words, and sheathed his rapier. With this, both Naruto and Esdeath took down the ice dome and started to walk back to the castle, not bothering to look back at the survivor who just ran away, pissing his pants and shit. "So, how is it, Naruto? Did you enjoy it at least?" Esdeath asked Naruto. As they walked back to the castle. "It was kind of fun, I guess. Though I wish they lasted longer. Even danger beasts last longer than them," Naruto complained. He he was no means a war freak, but that didn't mean he didn't enjoy fighting when he had to. So no one could fault him for trying to enjoy it when he did it. "Indeed, but stick around me and you'll definitely be able to find worthy opponents," Esdeath said as she ruffled his hair a bit. "Oh, I guess I will like it here then," Naruto said with a smile. "Oh, there you are. I was looking for you," a white-haired man said to Esdeath as he stopped and bowed in front of her, along with a rough-looking blonde man with a blonde boy. "Ah, River. I was wondering where you were. Anyways, I'm heading back to the castle. You may accompany me," Esdeath said to the white-haired man. "Thank you. Who is this young man?" River asked as he stared in shock at the boys beside Esdeath who looked exactly like her. "Oh, this is Naruto. Treat him as my son. Naruto, this is Riser, the Dibora, and I can't remember the other person's name. Wait, hold on. Fuck, I can't say his name. Just know it's the cat dude. Esther said as she introduced Naruto to her three beasts. All the three beasts could do at this point was stare at Naruto in shock. Her son? When did this happen? Ignoring the looks of shock, Esther simply walked ahead of him with Naruto at her side. Oh, she was getting amused by people's looks of shock at Naruto who looked like her. "Did you mean that?" Naruto asked. Mean what? Esther asked, slightly confused. What you said back there about me being your son. Naruto said, waiting anxiously for her answer. One thing Naruto wanted most in the world was not more fights and not really to get stronger. It was to have someone he could call family. Someone who was someone or somebody who could be proud of his achievements in life. That was his wish. And here was Esdeath who just claimed Naruto as her son. But the question was, did she mean it or not? I mean it, Naruto. I meant it, Naruto. I had been looking for a student for quite some time now. Someone I could train to be strong, and I thought you were the one. But I got to see you fight in your personality. I see that you could never be my student. Rather, it'd be better if you were my son. So, what do you say? Will you let me be your mom? Esther said with a smile on her face as she stopped to look at Naruto. Instead of answering, Naruto surprised her. Instead of jumping up to her arms and hugging her close, he just cried into her shoulder, trying to preserve this moment into his memory. Thanks a lot, Mom, Naruto said when he finally calmed down a bit. Don't worry about it, son. Well, come on, let's introduce you to the king. Then we'll get you settled before starting your training, Esther said as she started to walk back to the castle with a notable skip in her step with Naruto alongside her. In the corner of Naruto's eye, he caught a sight of a young girl around her age with purple, I think it was purple hair with equally purple sleeveless clothing, with a white stockings and white boots on her arms. With both her arms with a black color. And on top of that, she had a pair of glasses on her face. But before he could go approach her, he was reminded that he had to catch up with Esdeath to make some distance ahead for himself already. I will find you again someday. I hope you'll survive until then, Naruto thought as he catch up to Esdeath. I think this is a good part to end it on. Yeah. And I'm going to post another what if after this. So stay in tune on that. So comment, like, to me. What did you like the most? And yeah. Until next time. I'm out.